Hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining me back into Ostriv. My name is Axfield. We've currently reached just under 400 population, and there's quite a few things that I want to discuss with you, and I'm going to try and work through as much as I can. If you're new to the channel and to the series, please do remember to subscribe, as well as press the bell notification button, then you can stay updated on everything that I do. Now, I've almost completed this row house over here. We just need a couple of bricks still. Then we've got another big structure over here where we can squeeze a potential another 6 families in. Now, I want to try and complete this row houses if I can, this whole square. I'm going to see if I can get it done within this episode, but I doubt it. We'll maybe do a second one. But I want to quickly just discuss on my resource overview. I generally look at this while I'm off screen, but I'm going to just discuss a few things with you to show you my line of thoughts as you requested. So with the resource management screen, I generally don't use it as much. There's only certain things that I do use it for. So I do look at stuff like the food that perishes. So if I go onto the perished list, I do go through everything just to make sure there's no perishables. So for example, if I see the fish that is perishing, then I'll make sure that I do extra dried fish. Or if, for example, the chicken meat or the beef becomes perishable, then I need to get more market stalls up so that the people can get more access to it and so forth. Now, one of the things that does expire quickly is the tallow, or that I get a lot of expiration of, but I don't mind the tallow expiring because I really don't use it for anything. You can use it for soap, but they use so little tallow in any case for the soap. It's really just takes up a lot of space. It's just wasted space. Now, also what I like to do is I would like to keep an eye, for example, on my hay. So when I go here, you can see here that I've got stored 12,800 hay. We're currently in winter time and we've only spent 1,300 something. So this is very good. This means I'm really well set up for any more livestock that I want to add, which I'm currently busy with. I'm busy building my stable now for the horses, so I want to get that in as soon as possible. And then also with the drinking water, this is really also good for me to use the resource management screen for this. So you can see there that we've spent 4,000 something and we're generating, well, just under 8,000. So what I like to do is I would like to make my production always double with the water compared to the amount that I spend. In that way, that I know that I've got enough water all across the town, and it doesn't cost you anything to build the wells, just a few resources, of course, but it's really just easy. You don't need laborers or anything to manage it. So that's what I like to do with the water. Then also here on the population screen, obviously it's good to track how many adults you've got compared to children. Some of your children can do basic laboring jobs, but they are limited as to what they can do. Now, what I like to do is I want to make sure that my unemployment rate stays between 10 and 20%. In that way, there's enough workers doing laboring jobs, and then also you don't stand the risk of people running out of points. So if you can get this like pretty much where I've got it now, if you can keep it between 10 and 20%, that's a sweet spot to have your unemployment rate. It sounds like a lot, but it's really okay because you've got a lot of laboring jobs that will pop on and off the whole time throughout the year. Now, off screen, I started building my stable and they're still clearing out the trees over here. So I think what we can do is we can move the row house, we can move to the front. We've got now that extra brick, so let's maybe, I'm gonna fast forward this and then I'm gonna maybe just let them continue here with the row houses. Yeah, we do need 2,200 and we've only got 1,000 in stock in any case. So oh, it says 4,000. Okay, yeah, I've got one of my warehouses that does store it. Okay, that's perfect. So I'm gonna move the rows there to the front. Now, another thing that I would like to discuss is I haven't applied it really within my game, not in this game at least, and that is the single cart parkings. Now, the single cart parkings works pretty much the same as your normal cart parking. So the only difference for it being is that you can only house one cart, and then obviously the space that it takes is significantly smaller. Now, what I like about the single cart parking is that you can use the single cart parking. For example, you can assign one specifically to the lime kiln, and you can link it. So when I, for example, press on the small cart or the single cart parking, you can press the link to building button. So then I can link it here to the lime kiln, for example, and then it will make sure to only gather resources for this specific structure. So in that sense, it can be a very effective tool for you to use. I'll probably, you know what, while we're at it, I'm gonna build myself a single cart parking here for the brickworks, because we do carry quite high volumes. And then we can maybe have another 2 single cart parkings specifically for the charcoal. So let's do this. I'm in fact thinking of maybe doing 3 in a row like this, but I'm gonna link each one to a different building. So let's do this. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I'm gonna do it just like that. So one of the single cart parkings are going to link with the brickworks, and the other 2 I'm gonna link here to the charcoal piles. So I do believe it's gonna make it way more effective. And yeah, let's see how it goes. So I did some extra decorations also while I was off screen. So I continued with my fence over here, added some extra trees and shrubs. And so now we just have to wait for those trees to grow. Then it's going to look really nice. Yeah, so what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to maybe move these cart parkings to the front. Just for them to clear up the trees first before we get the stables built. And I'm going to just clear out this forestry. Okay, wait, okay, now it is going. Okay, now that's fine. Right, so also for this episode, what I want to do is I want to build some extra residential buildings over here. So I want to build some more village houses with gardens, but I want to give them really big yards. So I'm thinking of doing maybe like just 3 or 4 next to each other, but making it really big, only facing towards the river. So we're not going to have any houses on the opposite end, because I'm going to extend the yard basically as far back as I can. Right, we've got a messenger from the Rikachi, and I'm going to just go ahead and sell whatever I can. Got the apples. There we go. And I'm going to sell the Horeca. You see, they don't buy a lot of Horeca, so that's why I'm not really pushing my production for the Horeca as much, or the export amount. And let's just see. Okay, we've got enough iron. So as far as I'm aware, I think Derkachi and Mirefa are the 2 towns that's willing to trade horses with me. Yeah. So once we've got the stables up and we've got the feed and everything ready, then I'll import some horses for myself. And then, yeah, by the next episode, I think we should be able to just set up a few wagon sheds. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm gonna maybe do 2 or 3 wagon sheds within the next episode. Yeah, so we are seeing, this is now the second time that I've seen somebody popping up here with coins, that they've got a lack of money. So I need to maybe readjust my payment. I've got a really strong wealth tax. So even if they do make a lot of money, it's fine. I'm gonna get my money back eventually with the wealth tax. Okay, so right, we've got the one single cart parking up here. And I'm gonna just do this. I'm gonna say apply to all. I've got certain settings here for the single cart parking, so I'm gonna just say apply to all. Okay, cool. Right, okay, so this one I'm going to link to the brickworks, and this one to the charcoal pile, and we're going to do the same with the other one, just link it to this charcoal pile over here. Okay, and it's pretty cool. It shows you a little photo or a little picture of to which building it's linked to. So it does make it a little bit easier to track what you're doing. Oh, there we go. Right, and we're going to link that one. There we go. Okay, so now all of them are linked. That's good. Okay, we're still waiting here for these foresters or the lumberjacks to clear this. I don't know why they're really being delayed here. Let's maybe just take away all of this wood over here. Maybe that will encourage them just to clear this out. I'm going to also go ahead and mark these trees. Maybe that will help. Okay, so while we're waiting for those trees to clear up, I'm going to go ahead and place my first village house with the garden on this side. So I want to also make it kind of like with a thin yard, similar to the ones that we've got here. I'm going to make it slightly wider. Let's make it slightly wider. Passage I can make a little bit smaller. Okay, so let's see how far we can stretch it. Okay. Oops. Okay, nice. So you can see here we've got now a really decent size yard. And we can just replicate this building with the yard now. Let's just put it up there. And we can do the same here. We should be able to squeeze a third one in on this side. Let's just, to be safe, let's make it slightly thinner. We'll have to do like a thin yard basically for this little stretch over here. But it's going to take some time to clear these trees out in any case. But let's just do this and remove it. There we go. Okay, perfect stuff. I'll probably do a fourth one, or I'll leave a little small passage here just to make it easier for the people to move through, and then I'll maybe do 2 or 3 going that way. So let's just stick with these 2 for now. And I'm going to fast forward this so they can start building this one. We're now in March, so if they build quick enough, we should be able to get a good harvest on this one, at least for this one specifically. Alright, so I want to also check now for the resources. The stone specifically. Okay, I've got 2,700 in storage. Now you can see I laid quite a lot of pavement here while I was off screen. But now I've only got 2,700 left, so I've got to keep that out for the row houses. Let's see here, we've got penutine, so I'm going to trade whatever I can. There we go. And trade the warm clothes. My warm clothes production is still relatively slow. Just want to check something here. I'm probably going to have to do like a third tailor. Yeah, I'm going to have to set up a third tailor. I'm going to move these textiles. We're not using these textiles, so move resources by cart 480. And we can move it just to this one, really. Because we're not using those textiles, so they can just take it across. But we are needing some extra sheepskins in any case. So I don't think it's necessary to build another tailor workshop until we get a decent amount of sheepskin. Yeah, so you can see it's pretty slow. We've got one batch that's tanning. Okay, so we need to push that a little bit up. I want to maybe also look at getting a sheep farm and a cow shed on this side. We've got our hay barracks here, so they've got food very close to them. So that's fine. And while we're at it, let's see to maybe place 1 or 2 extra stone wells right over here on this side. Already got one there on this side of the granary, but we might as well stick another one over here. Squeeze it in as close to the building as we can. Right. But we're still waiting for those trees to clear, so let's move that forward. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add another stone wall maybe over here like so. There we go. Right. Still got some new families settling in. We're standing currently at 410 population. And you can see the treasury is looking good. We got just over 11,000 coin in the treasury. Now, once I exceed the population of 500, I'm going to look at placing myself a second barber surgery. So, the second barber surgery I'm looking at placing kind of like here. I think it's a pretty central location for this side of the river. Then all the row houses can get here easily. Well, it's either here or somewhere in this little space. I'm guessing I can... Yeah, I can probably move this cart shed. Yeah, I can probably do that. I can move this cart shed to a different location and I'll probably do the barber surgery over there. We've got a whole bunch of population here and we can have another chunk of row houses on this side. But now, yeah, we can have our stable here. We've got the hay dryers not too far from the stable. So they've got access to food from this side and then our hay barracks are here. Let's just maybe do a normal well or a standard well here. I'm gonna place it just like that. Just move all of these in front of the queue. There we go. Okay, so while we're still waiting for them to clear up those trees, let's see to place a sheep farm and a cow shed. I'm not quite sure how I want to place this one. I think what might work, yeah, this might be a good idea. So maybe rather to place it like facing this way. And then we can also do the same with the cow shed facing the opposite direction. And so then they can squeeze in right next to each other. And they're close to everything. They're close to the hay barracks and the water sources. Got a platform not too far. But I'm thinking of just maybe adding another platform right over here. Okay, that's a decent distance for them to travel just to get the water. Okay, and then we've got some space left over here, which I can then utilize maybe for an additional chicken coop. Let's just see. So you see, in this way we can squeeze another chicken coop in here. Maybe like this. Oh, it kind of looks a little bit wonky. I want the stuff to be a little bit more square. Now I do like the free building, but sometimes it's just... I want certain buildings to be square, so I would have loved the option to have either like a grid system or free build. Or a combination of the two, you know. So we can do that within Farthest Frontier. They let you choose between the free build and the grid. So I think that's like the best thing ever for City Builder, if you can incorporate that into the game. That's just awesome. Okay, so we've got this big village houses up, and got both of them up quick enough or early enough so that they both can yield some veggies. This one is not going to yield as much, but I think we should have a really good yield on this one. I was hoping that they would spawn in apiaries. Man, it's just such a struggle to get houses with apiaries. I don't know why. I never get them. Or I get very little at least. I mean, you can see we've got one house here with apiaries. It's just crazy. I think the best thing to do, if you really want the apiaries, is to build the house, break it down again, and build the house again until you get those apiaries. I don't know what would be the best thing to do, but there's no option for you to choose what you can have in the garden, so yeah. Okay, let's see how the bricks are looking. We've got 5,800, and then we should have another 4,000 in storage. Of 3,000. Okay, there we go. So we've got 3,000, 9,000. Okay, cool. Right, so what I am going to do, I'm going to make a smaller row house over here, but also with the arch. So I do want them to face the same direction, or just in line with each other, and let's try and get it square. It is going to be a little bit skew, but we're going to try and get it as square as we can. There's a decent space for another row house to go in. And I think this should do the trick. It looks pretty square. Yeah. Let's go for that. Let's move these ones forward. Go. I haven't even considered moving my town towards this side, and the reason for that being is you can see the border is running right down here. So I mean, we've got this little island of space. What I could do is maybe just bring bridges across. If, for example, someone from this side needs to get to this point on a later stage, we can get a bridge going across like this and then again across like that. But at the moment, it's not really that big of a problem. We've got a lack of food variety here. I'm thinking what I am going to do is I'm producing so much dried fish. It's not going to really affect my exports, so let's maybe add some dried fish over here. And then that will ensure that they've got enough food variety. I'm going to remove the salt maybe. Yeah, I think let's remove the salt and then we can also place the dried fish in here. There we go, then it's just easier to transport to the store. I'm going to just send a messenger to Balaklia so that we can import some extra stone. I think Balaklia might sell horses. I can't remember. I just want to see if they do sell horses, but I want to import the stone at least and just trade a few things. We can sell the dried fish as well as the sunflower oil. Okay, there we go. You see, I've got the dried fish now available for the people on this side. That should be good. Let's just see here with the wheat. I've got no wheat in storage, so you know I've got to really now step my wheat game up here. I am supplying the chickens with wheat, and I'm thinking of rather maybe just supplying them with sunflowers because we've got so much of the sunflowers. So let's maybe push this to 400, and I'm going to remove the wheat as a whole for the chickens, and we just supply them with the sunflowers. There's more than enough, so. And I'm not going to supply them with the linseed. We can use that to make the oil, and let's take that away. Okay, cool. Okay, so in that way we've got enough wheat for the horeca as well as for the flour production. I want to just ensure that we've always got wheat for the flour. Now, when we expand the town more towards this side, as I build the next block of row houses, I'm going to place myself another farmhouse over here. And here towards the back, I'm going to mainly focus on wheat as well as barley, so that we can maybe just look at starting to producing some beer. And then we don't have to import the meat anymore. So that is also what I'm thinking. So then we'll maybe have 2 crop fields of wheat, 2 crop fields of barley, and then maybe 1 extra crop field of sunflowers. Okay, so we've got Balaglia town. I've sent the messenger now, and we can buy horses from them. Okay, so let's just purchase the stone first, and then we can sell our dried fish. Got nothing in the storage. So I suppose we can also get to that point now where we push our production up for the fish. I'm gonna also, at a later stage, or maybe much sooner than I think, but we're going to have to look at placing another salt works somewhere on this side. There's a little space over there, but that's just too far out. Ooh. Alternatively, we've got a spot over here, a little bit far from the residential houses. Just check this out. If we got anything. Oh, there we go. Okay, so they will be kind of close together, but it's okay. Then we can just place one, or maybe even over here. Yeah, that's actually a really good spot. So we can utilize all the space. Don't want to leave too big gaps between the houses. But yeah, we can maybe then place a salt works on that side. And we can just have a storage here for the salt. Maybe build an additional warehouse. And we just keep the salt in there. Okay, so we're setting up the stable now. Need to get it up quickly though, before the messenger departs, and then we can just import some horses. I'm thinking of maybe just getting 4 mares maybe, and then 1 stallion. I think that should be okay, just to start with. Also, not to really mess with the food supply. Okay, let's do this. 8 labor limit. We can do maybe 2 workers. And we're only going to supply them with the hay. Let's do 500 and 500. Water can't go off, so yeah, there we go. Laborers and a carter. Perfect. Okay, right, so let's do this. Let's get 4 mares and 1 stallion. They give you the option to purchase draft horses, but it's not available. There's nothing that we can buy. So maybe there is towns like Durkachi or Marefa that does sell the draft horses. Otherwise they wouldn't have given that option. But it's okay. It's gonna cost way more to have the draft horse. So let's just do the 5 for now. Let them breed a little bit. Ah, there we go. Yeah, I thought so. Okay, so Marefa, they do sell the draft horses. And interestingly enough, I thought they would have been more expensive, but they're not. So let's maybe buy 3 draft horses. And then I can immediately assign them to a wagon shed once I've got the wagon shed up. So let's just do that. And then I can sell whatever I can. So we've got 300 sunflower oil. And I'm gonna sell my salt. Okay, then other than that, there's nothing else. Okay. So the people who are really consuming the dried fish, I'm quite surprised that they're taking so much of the fish. Yeah, but you can see they are starting to go a little bit further down the river, so I should try and not squeeze any more fishing docks in here. Maybe if I place one... Yeah, I did say I'm gonna do it kind of like this. I'm gonna place this fishing dock around about here. But we first need to get some more residential buildings closer. And some market stalls, that's the main thing. So this is all uneven terrain, so can't utilize any of that for the fishing docks. I suppose I can place one here. It's a little bit far out. I want to see where the border is here. You know, I could potentially place another one here, because the river goes quite high up before I reach the border. It's right over here. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna add myself another fishing dock over here, like so. Suppose we're getting to a level also now where I might need a secondary boatyard. But it seems like the boats at the moment is pretty well maintained, so between all of these ones, yeah, we don't have any issues over here. And I did say to do preventative repairs. Okay, so that's good. I think it's really important to just tick the box for the preventative repairs. It does give more of a flow. Okay, perfect. So they've got everything here that they need. And we're going to get the draft horses now soon. So let's just see where we can place a wagon shed. I think it's not a bad idea to place a wagon shed over here, like so, maybe. We've got water and feed and everything here. So let's do this. Let's maybe place it right over here, like so. Okay, we've got almost all the material that we need here for the row house. Just see something over here. We've got a decent amount of windows still. Now for this sheep farm over here, for this episode I'm not going to bring any sheep in. And also I'm not going to place any cows over here, so we'll do that within the next episode. But what I want to do for now, I want to push my livestock limit up to 30 for both of these sheep farms. We do need some extra sheep hides, and I've got enough food now to cater for all of them. So, and then I'll also maybe just do 3 staff on each of these sheep farms, and we can do the same here for the cow sheds. And we can increase the livestock limit here for the chickens, and then I'm gonna add 3 staff on both sides as well. Okay, there we go. You can see here with all the shrubs that I've got now here, it's looking really good. Even with the trees that's still tiny, looking much better. Definitely more life here. We can add some smaller buildings over here as well. I'm thinking of adding, on a later stage, we can maybe add like a shoemaker, and we can also get the saddlery. Let's just see, where is the saddlery? Also a really small shop. Here we go. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. We can kind of place it like this, just to fill up these open spaces. Just like that. Now, it would have been cool if you had like a store. So I know they probably didn't have it back then in the year 1730. But it would have been cool to have like a general store, which works similar to a market stall, but just having more supply that you can stash in there. And also for a bigger range that they can cater. I think that would be cool. It's just a thought, but it's probably not historically accurate. Now I want to add some more industrial buildings here. And I do need another carpentry. It's getting to that point where I'm gonna have to place another carpentry. So I'm gonna place it square with these buildings that I've got over here. We're gonna have to assign some extra people on here. And then I'm also gonna, just behind it, I'm gonna add another smithy. So I just think it's at that stage now where we're gonna have to do the production. We're gonna have to double up on that. So I'm gonna place it to it like that, so the people can comfortably move through, and if we need to get the wagons also to move through. Yeah, there we go. So I'm doing a heck of a lot in this episode at the moment, but I did spend a lot of time thinking of how I want to progress. I wasn't really sure, and then now I've got a kind of like a clear vision of what I want to do. I think it's maybe a good idea just to place this house here as like a thumb holder. There is enough space for them to go through, so let's make it maybe a little bit shorter. Okay, awesome stuff. So I think just to be safe, I'll rather have maybe like a little open space right over here. Just in case my villagers needs to move through. I don't want to make two big blocks and then they can't get through. Ideally it would have been nice to maybe be able to put a gate at the back of these houses. That would really solve a lot of problems for me. So I'm thinking of just placing it, we'll have to move it slightly up if I want to get another 3 in here. Oh, you know what? Let's just do this. I'm gonna build it square. My OCD is gonna kick in, so let's do it like this. Okay, we've got Turkachi. I'm gonna sell my shoes. And we've got plenty of sunflower oil now. I suppose we're also getting to that stage now where I'm going to have to maybe place a second oil workshop. But we can get to that when I've got an extra 2 fields maybe of sunflowers. I'm keeping it on fast forward. I would really like to see what we're going to yield from these big plots that we've got over here. I'm really curious to see. They've got a big variety in this one with the different vegetables. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different vegetables, and here it's, well, you can clearly see it's basically just cabbage. Man, we're gonna have a whole lot of cabbage. And then I think this is the raspberries. So we're going into the harvesting season, so by the beginning of September we'll see what we're going to harvest. And that is for the houses specifically, but they're already starting with the farm harvesting. Yeah, so we've got our sheep farm and the cow shed over here. I'll probably add another 2, just look for a different location, maybe kind of over here. Once the forest has cleared out all the trees here, then we can move this forester, we can move towards this side, and then we can place another sheep farm and cow shed right over here. And I want to start with that block of row houses as soon as I can. We'll definitely start with that within the next episode. And I want to maybe start by building a row house that's got a store in, because then they can cater for the houses over here, and it's also close enough then to cater for the houses that we will build on this little island on this side. I'm looking forward to get this going. And then whatever fishermen we've got assigned here, they've got a whole big stretch of body of water where they can fish from. It's going to make it easy for them. So we've got 700 in export stock. Let's maybe just sell 500 for now. Okay. So you can see we're starting to struggle with the food variety. So I just placed these big farmhouses. I've placed them right in time for the village houses with the gardens. It was a really good time to place them, because now the food variety is starting to dwindle a little bit. Let's just see here. Let's see what they are. Okay, they really didn't have food at all. I mean, they've only got apples now, which literally got harvested just now also. Okay, so let's do... We want to obviously make everything the same. So let's apply to all. There we go. And let's say apply to all for this one as well. There we go. Alright, so we can just order these fishing boats, and we're only going to produce the dried fish. Perfect. Okay, I think it's going to be fine having the fishing dock over there. They shouldn't interfere with each other's fishing spots. Alright, you can see we've got plenty of laborers now available. I might on a later stage push my labor limit up a little bit further, because I do want to add an extra crop field. I want to maybe do 6 for this farm and then also 6 for this one. So we'll definitely need to then increase the labor force to get to everything. Now we've got the plows, so that's fine. We should be able to plow the fields quickly with 3 plows that we've got for each of the farmhouses. Now I want to see, we're getting into the time where they're starting to harvest from the village houses, and I want to see what we're going to get here. This is the last thing that I do want to do. But we're going to sort out the food variety now, once we've got these ones up. You see, the reason why the food variety has really gone down now is because we've got a really densely populated region here with the row houses, and they can't produce their own crops. So as soon as I started building all these row houses, this is now what's causing the problem. Okay, let's leave the dried fish for now. And let's just sell the sunflower oil. And I'm gonna also just wait with the salt. But we're definitely getting to that place where I'm going to have to get a secondary salt works. And these guys, they're running out of food. They've only got 6 apples. Oh, that's terrible. At least they've got plenty of firewood for the winter. My goodness. Just give them some financial help. Maybe they need some extra money for food. Here we go. Get yourself some fishies. Oh my goodness. I built these 2 plots just in time. It's getting really crazy now with all the people wanting food. Let's see what we can buy. Honey. I suppose I can just buy myself a whole batch of honey, buy everything I can, and that will just help with the food for some time, and we've got enough money, so I'm gonna sort the food out now with these ones. Okay, here they're harvesting now. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. Wow, okay, so we had over 1,000 cabbage. That's really good, and in 100 raspberries. On this side we had 400 onions, 140 carrots, horseradish, cabbage, and marrow. Okay, that's really good. Okay, so this is going to help us going forward. Now I'm going to build another 2 maybe off screen. We're going to build that one and this one, and then hopefully I could squeeze in. You see, I'm thinking I'm probably going to move these cart parkings. I want to get another 3 of these houses in, just to help us with the food supply. But that is me for today. We're gonna sort this food out now, taking all the food now to the marketplaces. So you'll see it's gonna just start to disappear now, all this food needs. Let's just maybe keep it running to just ensure that we sort out the food problems over here. Ah, there we go. You can see now they're harvesting everything on this side as well. Okay, that's looking much better. Okay, but I want to thank you so much for watching. I really got a lot done within this episode. I'm going to just maybe off screen just work on placing more of those village houses with the big gardens. And then we can get a very nice amount of food that we can give back to the community. Thank you so much for watching. If you are new and you did enjoy it, please do remember to subscribe. It will mean a lot to me. And then I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
In a game of adventure and strategy, we make our mark.